there are different ways to graph lines. The first way that we're going to learn is the table method. So this is a review for when we are graphing functions. So we have our equation, y equals x plus 2. We have some x values given for us. So substitute it in. 7 plus 2. And 7 plus 2 is 9, and we have the point 7, 9. Substitute 4 in. 4 plus 2 is 6, so we have the point 4, 6. And lastly, 0 plus 2 is 2, so we have the point 0, 2. Now we need to graph these points. So x, y, so we need to go to 7, go up to 9, and put a dot. And 4, 6, and 0, 2. So this is going to make a straight line, so let's draw it. Make sure you use a ruler. Make sure it comes out both sides. And don't forget your arrows. So make sure you go edge to edge with your arrows. Okay. Now let's look at the second way. The second way is we have to find the x and y intercepts. And then we graph those 2 points to make our line. So x-intercept. To find the x-intercept, you're going to put y equal 0 in. So substitute 0 in for your y and solve. So we're going to have 2x plus 0 equals 4. So 2x equals 4. And then we're going to divide both sides by 2. So x ends up equaling 2. So we have the point 2, 0. Because x is 2 and our y we put it in as 0. So that's our first point. So this is finding the x-intercept. Now we're doing the same equation, but we're finding the y-intercept. So the y-intercept, you're going to want x to equal 0. So substitute that 0 in for x. So 2 times 0 plus y equals 4. 2 times 0 is 0, so we're just going to have y to equal 4, and then write the point. Our x is 0, our y is 4, so we have the point 0, 4. So those are our 2 intercepts. Now I want you to try the next one. So find the x-intercept, find the y-intercept, and then come back and check your work. Okay, let's check it. So we have 3x minus 2y equals 6. Substitute in 0 in for your y to solve for your x-intercept. So 3x minus 2 times 0 equals 6. 2 times 0 is 0, so we're just going to have 3x equaling 6. Divide both sides by 3. So we get x to equal 2. So we have the point 2, 0 for our x-intercept. Our y-intercept, we're going to do the same thing, but substitute 0 in for x. And solve for your y. 3 times 0 is 0, so we get negative 2y equaling 6. Divide both sides by negative 2. You get y to equal negative 3. So then we have the point 0, negative 3 as our y-intercept. So now we're going to take our intercepts and apply it to graphing. So we're going to solve to find our y-intercept and our x-intercept, and then graph those 2 points. So, x plus y equals 3. If we substitute 0 in for x, we get 0 plus y equaling 3. So then y equals 3. So we have the point 0, 3. Now if we do the same thing but for y, so we're going to have x plus 0 equals 3. Then we simplify it and we just get x to equal 3. So when x equals 3, y is 0. So we have those 2 points, now we're going to graph it. Make sure when you graph it, you go from edge to edge and arrows on both sides. Okay. Now let's look at the next problem. 3x plus y equals 3. Substitute 0 in for x. So we have 3 times 0 plus y equals 3. 3 times 0 cancels out, so we just get y equals 3. Now substitute in 0 in for y. So we get 3x plus 0 equals 3. So 3x equals 3. Divide both sides by 3. So x equals 1. Now graph those points. Draw your line. Make sure you go edge to edge and draw in your arrows. Okay, I want you to do the next 4. Come back and check your work once you are done. Okay, let's look at the next problem. We have x minus y equals 4. Substitute 0 in for x. So 0 minus y equals 4. So we get negative y to equal 4. Divide both sides by negative 1. So y equals negative 4. Now if we do 0 in for y, we get x minus 0 equals 4. So x equals 4. Graph the 2 points. Draw your line. Now let's look at the next one. There we go. Now that graph's not crazy. So substitute in 0 in for x. And when you do that, you get negative 2. So we have x is 0, go down to negative 2. Substitute 0 in for y, and you get 5. Graph the point. Connect your line. Okay, let's look at the next one. If you plug in 0 in for x, you get 3. And if you plug in 0 in for y, you get 1.5. So graph your points. Draw your line. Then the last one. If you substitute 0 in for x, you get negative 2.5. And if you substitute 0 in for y, you get 2. So graph these 2 points. So that is your lesson today on graphing lines in standard form. So please reach out if you have any questions.